You walked into that meeting yesterday, you sat down, you shook hands, and within 7 seconds, everyone in that room had already decided who you are. Not because of what you said, not because of your resume, but because of what was on your wrist, or what was not. Research from Princeton University shows people form impressions about trustworthiness, competence, and status within 1/10 of a second of seeing someone. 7 seconds. That is all you get. And your watch is speaking louder than your words ever will. The question is not whether people are judging you. The question is whether you are controlling what they judge. I learned this the expensive way. Years ago, I closed a deal that should have been impossible. The client was older, traditional, demanding. I wore my mechanical dress watch that day, simple, elegant, hand-wound. During our conversation, I checked the time once, just once. A deliberate turn of the wrist. A quick glance, then back to full attention. He noticed. At the end of the meeting, he told me he chose to work with me because I was the only person who was not checking notifications every 3 minutes. He said my watch told him I valued his time more than whoever was texting me. One watch, one moment, 6 figures. The next week, different meeting, different potential partner. He wore a smartwatch. Every 5 minutes his wrist lit up. He would glance down, tap the screen, return to our conversation with that distant expression people get when they are thinking about the message they just read instead of the person in front of them. I watched the dynamic shift. Every buzz was a reminder that I was competing with everyone else in his digital world. We never closed that deal. 2 meetings, 2 watches, 2 completely different outcomes. And that is when I understood. Watches are not about time anymore. They are about power, control, identity. They are about who you are choosing to be. Luxury watches signal more than wealth. They demonstrate intentionality, the ability to choose and commit to something significant. When you strap on a watch every morning, you are making a statement about how you relate to time itself. Are you its master or its servant? Every interaction you have that day will be filtered through that choice. Here is what most men miss. In our social media-driven world, more people than ever can identify luxury timepieces and understand what wearing them says about status and success. It is not just watch collectors anymore who know the difference between a Submariner and a fashion watch. The information is everywhere, which means the stakes are higher. Your watch is being read, analyzed, judged, whether you realize it or not. Think about the last time you met someone successful, really successful. What was on their wrist? I will bet you remember, because our brains are wired to notice these signals. We evolved to make rapid assessments about whether someone is friend or foe, trustworthy or dangerous, powerful or weak. These snap judgments happen in milliseconds and they stick. Your watch is one of the first things people unconsciously register when they meet you. But here is where it gets interesting. The watch you choose does not just affect how others see you. It changes how you see yourself. There is this concept in psychology called enclothed cognition. What you wear literally changes how you think and behave. When you put on a watch that makes you feel powerful, you stand differently. You speak with more authority. You make eye contact longer. You negotiate harder. The watch becomes a physical reminder of who you have decided to be that day. Studies show that wearing a luxury watch can boost confidence and encourage better time management by making wearers more aware of time and its value. It is not magic. It is psychology. The watch primes your mindset about success, precision, and intentionality. Those micro changes compound into macro results. I have watched this play out hundreds of times. A man walks into a room wearing a proper timepiece. His shoulders are back. His handshake is firm. His presence commands attention. Not because the watch itself has power, because what the watch represents has activated something in him. He's wearing his standards on his wrist. That clasp clicking shut every morning is his daily commitment to excellence. Now let me tell you about the 6 types of watch wearers. As I describe each one, pay attention to your gut reaction. One of these is going to feel uncomfortably accurate. The power player wears gold without apology, a day date, a royal oak, maybe a nautilus. This is not about showing off. This is about setting the tone. When that gold catches the light in a boardroom, he is saying he has arrived and he is comfortable here. The power player knows confidence is a strategy, not a character flaw. He gives himself permission to take up space, to charge what he is worth, to say no to opportunities beneath him. The minimalist strips everything to essence, clean dial, 2 hands, maybe a Nomos or a vintage piece with perfect proportions. But this is not about lacking resources. This is about having so much confidence that he does not need to prove anything. The minimalist sends 2-sentence emails that say everything. His wardrobe is 8 perfect pieces instead of a closet full of options. For him, the ultimate luxury is clarity. The rebel wears what he wants when he wants. A dive watch with a suit, a field watch to a gala, not from ignorance, from intention. He knows the rules and chooses to ignore them because conformity feels like suffocation. I know entrepreneurs who wear unconventional watches specifically to be memorable. It works. Investors tell stories about them. They stand out in a sea of sameness. The adventurer wears tools, not trophies. His watch has scratches that tell stories. A dive watch that has seen actual ocean floors. A GMT that has crossed real time zones. For him, possessions should earn their place through experience. When you ask about his watch, he will tell you about the mountain where it froze, or the dive where it was the only thing that worked. Scars are more beautiful than polish. The connoisseur understands nuance. He wears a vintage Speedmaster or a birth year Submariner, pieces with heritage and stories. Not for others to notice. Most will not, but for the deep satisfaction of excellence. He can tell you why a 1967 model differs from a 1968, not to impress. Because craftsmanship matters, beauty matters, history matters. He pays extra for details only he will appreciate because quality is its own reward. The independent discovers excellence others overlook. A micro-brand, a forgotten classic, something authentic that does not need a logo for validation. He spends hours researching, gets excited about unusual movements. Knows the difference between calibers most people have never heard of. If everyone else is doing it, he is not interested. For him, the road less traveled is the only one worth taking. Which one are you? Be honest. Because once you know your watch personality, everything changes. You stop buying what you think you should wear and start choosing what actually represents who you are. Now here is the external impact. When you pull your phone out to check the time, you are signaling distraction. You are one notification away from being elsewhere. But when you check your watch with that subtle wrist rotation, you are displaying control, presence, intentionality. Research shows people wearing mechanical watches negotiate better outcomes than those wearing smartwatches because they signal temporal sovereignty. They control time rather than being controlled by it. Test this yourself. Spend a week wearing a proper watch and noting reactions. Then spend a week checking your phone for time. The difference in how people engage with you is remarkable. With a watch, conversations go deeper. People assume you are busier, more important, but paradoxically more present. That contradiction is the secret. You have achieved what everyone wants. You appear successful enough to be in demand, but disciplined enough to be fully there. Every morning when you fasten that clasp, you are crossing a threshold. Psychologists call this an identity bridge. Athletes have pre-game rituals. Surgeons have preparation protocols. You have your watch. It is your transition from private to public, from preparation to performance, from who you were to who you are choosing to be today. That moment when the clasp clicks is not just about telling time. It is about owning it. Think about your morning routine. Are you being intentional? Or are you leaving your identity to chance? Because the men who achieve what they want understand this. Success is built on small daily decisions about who you are becoming, your relationship with time, how you track it, honor it, display it. That choice reveals everything. I want you to try something. For the next 7 days, be deliberate about your wrist. If you own a watch, wear it consciously. If you own several, match them to your daily intentions. Pay attention to how people respond, but more importantly, pay attention to how you respond to yourself. Notice your posture, your handshake, your decision-making. Document it, because once you understand, your watch is a tool for becoming, and not just an accessory for telling time, everything shifts. The watch you choose tomorrow morning will influence every interaction you have, every negotiation, every introduction. Every moment someone sizes you up in those critical first 7 seconds, maybe you will keep doing what you have been doing. That is fine, but at least now you know what you are really choosing, or maybe you will make a different choice. Maybe you will finally get that watch you have been thinking about. Maybe you will start wearing the one sitting in your drawer. Maybe you will embrace which of the 6 personalities you actually are. Because the right watch does not just complement your style, it activates your potential. It becomes part of your story, your victories, your defeats, your growth. My dress watch was on my wrist when I closed my first major deal. My dive watch was there when I took the biggest risk of my career. These pieces have absorbed my history. When I wear them, I am not just tracking time, I am carrying time. Those moments are encoded in the metal. And that weight, that history, that commitment to showing up as the man I have decided to be, that is what people see in the first 7 seconds. If learning how to master first impressions and command every room you enter matters to you, hit that subscribe button. Leave a like if you want to be an elegant and powerful man who understands the unspoken language of success. Consider supporting this channel by becoming a member. Click the membership button to join for as low as $4.99 per month. Your support keeps this content coming. So, here is what I have shown you today. Your watch is speaking for you in the first 7 seconds of every meeting. It signals your relationship with time, success, and power. The 6 watch personalities reveal who you are and what drives you. Whether you wear gold or steel, vintage or modern, minimal or bold, each choice creates a different version of you. The question is, which version needs to activate today? Because fashion is not about luxury, it is about power. And power begins with knowing exactly what message you are sending before you ever open your mouth. What watch personality are you? Comment below. Power player, minimalist, rebel, adventurer, connoisseur, independent. I read every comment and I want to know how you show up in the world. Until next time, own your time, own your power, own your elegance.